Bench is cleared off except for the Bendix sitting up here, not on the bike, because we are going to run this Keen Butterfly, which I don't know. It's a stalker. It hasn't been adjusted. The idle plug is still capped. Never been drilled. Hopefully that should work. I got a temporary fuel line here, which we're not running that. For first start, we're going to use the little mini bottle here. Just try and get it going on that. I don't know. I'm hoping it's a kick only, so the battery should be okay. But it is a small little AGM type battery, so that should be alright. It hasn't been charged since I originally bought it, but all I've done is click the headlight on and off a couple times. So I think Kyle with that panhead is coming over. He loves kicking bikes, and first start bike kicking isn't the most fun to me. So if he comes by, I'm just going to start laying out some fluids on this. Maybe I'll record, maybe I won't, maybe it's time-lapsed. I really have no idea yet. I might just set you guys in the corner and run with it and see what happens. But I'm going to start adding fluids, so we'll do oil and everything else. I mean, I got to tighten up the foot pegs and riser bolts and do some final tightening. Maybe I'll do that now first, and then add fluids just while it's up on the lift and everything's a little more accessible. So I'll just start getting this snug down. I'd like to say I want to get it running and rip it around the block, but the weather is not the prettiest. They've been calling for rain all day, and I don't know where it's at. So maybe it'll rain, maybe it won't. That's usually how that goes. Anyways, I'll turn you guys around, prop you up somewhere, and keep going on this thing. Do need to find a plug for the primary though. That's the important one. Let me figure out a bolt situation for the lower primary. This one down here. That's important. Well, she's all filled up with oil. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna jam in the primary. Just started looking through everything else on the other side. And again, this is kind of initial break-in. So I'm gonna let this just sit and drain, but we got 3 quarts of oil in the sandwich box. I'm gonna let this gravity bleed for quite a while to try and get through the pump. I know it's not gonna do all that much, but we'll let that sit. Wait to actually start the thing till Kyle gets here. Like I said, I'm gonna fill up the little mini bottle over here for fuel. Make sure that hose fits over the petcock. Pulled the plugs out because I do want to kick it over a handful of times with the oil lines out. I don't know if I'm going to build up all the way for pressure. It's a good idea. It's a really good idea to do that first, but I'm not really feeling like kicking over a bike a million times. But essentially, I still need to tighten down the brake pivot arm. This bolt's in, it can't go anywhere. It's cut in the shaft, so that's stuck. It's just not that stuck. It's not tightened down or torqued down. But we did all the spark stuff, wiring's working. I don't have the choke rod hooked up on this carb. I have the bracket and I have the rod if I really want to, but we can manually do that. It's just as easy like that. I'm not putting an air cleaner on or anything like that. Like I said, this was a running carb. I don't know how well it's gonna work when we get it all together. It's been sitting all winter off of a bike with nothing in it, so could be shot, could leak, who knows. But we're gonna try it first. Well, I avoid the Bendix some more, just because I'm not familiar with it. I haven't dug into that, and I really don't want to cut the throttle cable to put that little connector on. If I can get this Keihin Butterfly to work for now, that'll work. And then on this side of the bench, turn you guys around. Behind all of this stuff, I have a plethora of carburetors for Harleys. Everything from Mikunis to Edelbrocks to CVs galore, all in various states of disrepair, but they should all work. I don't know what primary oil we're running in this. I know Harley calls for specific stuff, but I'm very limited. I got 60 weight, which is what I just poured into the engine now, 3 quarts of that. Gonna let that slowly fill and kick it over a handful of times. I'm not gonna do a full one. In theory, if everything is working, I did lube up the oil pump drive with a little bit of grease. So in theory, that should pull oil immediately once it fires up. Don't have a gauge, so I'm gonna leave the dipstick out, throw light in the oil tank, make sure that that's returning. That's first priority. And then pretty much it. I got nothing in the trans right now, so I gotta throw something in there. And like I said, it's temporary. I'm gonna swap all the fluids on this once we get it broken in. So that's kind of where we're at. Let me grab the gas can, we'll set up the gas petcock and all the other fun stuff. Then go through the bin of miscellaneous oils that I have and figure out what we're gonna run in this thing. Oh, the preparation process. So fuel line's a little dry rotted. I just squirted some WD-40 on here. Also, if you do mess around with these, I do like to replace these plastic spigots on the carbs. Oh, people are calling me. Hold on, I'll be right back. Plastic spigot, fresh fuel, should be good to go. Okay, so here's where we're at. I put 60 weight in the oil tank. Gravity will help that flow down to the pump in theory. I did grease the pump housing when I slapped that together, so that should be okay. Shouldn't have to worry about any suction issues there. Now on to the primary. This being an earlier motor, it's not separate from the primary and the transmission, so I do just need oil in there. We're going to run some high quality 60 weight because that's what I have. Wipe your stuff off. So in order to do that, I'm going to set our funnel here. Just have a little more flex to it. Just like that-ish. I think that ought to work. Now, the drain plug that I actually just put in needs to come back out. Maybe I'll actually throw some thread sealer on that too. I'm really just trying to get everything laid out for now. Like I said, I know once my buddy gets here, I'll kind of mess with that a little bit more. But we got the drain plug out. If you're not familiar on the Sporties, drain plug sits right there. It's been a while since I've done a Sportster. Normally on the big twins, they're completely separate entities, unless you recap them. So, put you guys over here. And when it starts dripping, I'll bring you down to that side. But we got a while for that. 60 weight on this funnel will take quite a while to pour, unfortunately. It's about half a quart. And if you want to get fancy, rotate your funnel in there, soak that primary chain. This is not a new chain, I just reused the old one that was in there. Wasn't in too bad a shape, but essentially as this fills, we're going to fill this until it starts to come out this weep hole down here, which might actually start pretty quick. Since this is a first start, this is draining way faster. So the primary's filled. The transmission side, on the other hand, will probably still take some more, so this should be enough to just get us started. And then once all this is done, we will run it, hopefully, and once it's running, I'll recheck all the levels. On the Sportster stuff with this weep hole, you do want to make sure that the oil level is hitting the bottom side of the chain and splashes around in there. But for now, this should work just fine. Like I said, foot peg bolts are still loose, but they're at least on and in place. Lots of final touches still, but Buddy's on its way here, so I'm going to drop this lift down and pull it down. Still got to fill up the gas can, and then I think we should be about ready to fire this thing up. Hopefully it goes smooth. Who knows? Every time I think it should fire right up. Again, the biggest variable right now is the carburetor that's on here. Came off of a running bike, so in theory it should run. If it runs like crap, I'm okay with that. I just want to hear this thing light off, and we'll call it good, try and adjust it quickly. But it's not the permanent carb that's going to be on this bike, so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time finagling and trying to readjust and tune this stupid butterfly. We'll see what happens. So, have a beer, relax for a minute before we get this thing off the lift. On the ground. It's been a while. Sorry about the compressor noise, but it's where she wants to live. Still have a ton of little odds and ends, but now we're down to just fuel. And hopefully this carburetor works. And we will find out together. Like I said, not trying to hide anything. We'll see what happens. Go through the whole first start. I might time lapse it if it takes forever because that's boring. But I'll make sure to explain all of the stupid details and problems we run into, if any come up. We'll see. My carb's stuck.
Uh-oh. Is it leaking?
Yeah, that was expected. What the overflow's for?
Yeah, but you got a little thing or something?
Hopefully it's just thickened. This is the one out of frickin' Wolf Spike.
Yeah.
I don't even care about that part. Let's see. Still dripping.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so the float's leaking. That's a drip. I don't even care about that part. Just want the accelerator pump to work.
Did it not squirt now?
Yeah, it's got a healthy squirt. You or me?
Go for it, man. It's your,
I don't even want to.
No, come on. I don't want to be the one that fucking breaks my leg.
I don't either. Sportster problem. I didn't even tighten the spark plugs in all the way. Oh, you know, just trying to start a bike.
Don't look at me, I look absolutely insane today.
Camera's watching.
It's okay, baby, you're on the internet.
No!
No, I'm kidding. You're fine.
What is it, 13/16 or something?
Yeah.
You got one?
Big drawer. Kyle's making me kick it over.
Probably because he doesn't want to be on the internet.
He is, he's famous on the internet.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's my stupid panhead.
I just didn't want to, you know, explode my knee when this thing kicks back.
Yeah, I don't know what's the first. Is in here?
Huh?
Are you gonna kick it until it starts and then turn the camera on?
Oh, I forgot about ironhead problems.
Yeah. Oh.
This fucking shock.
Ignition's out still, right?
Should be.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna go. As soon as you turn that ignition
I forgot about ironhead compression.
Yeah, man, I know. That's what I didn't.
This stupid shock keeps hitting my knee.
Oh god.
Nope, that's all you.
No, I look crazy. Go grab it, I paid for it. Please. I need a break.
It wants to go.
Let me try it. When you're done.
You want to?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, there's a gas can there behind you, Daddy.
Oh,
You're not having fun anymore.
Ignition?
You're good. It's on.
You
I just clicked you all the way so you can see it's on.
Oh.
Watch that fucking shock bolt.
That? Close it a little bit.
Good? Yeah. It'll go. Told you. It'll go. I turn the gas back on too.